Hey party people. Yeah, I just learned this one. Okay, it's not mine. It's not originally mine. I just learned it on social media. I tell you who has it. Okay, good evening and welcome to the best evening talk show in the country, The Dish. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah, your host. You're welcome. Now, we're coming to you live from our MX24 studios, Oleander Streets, East Legon, Accra. This season, right, I have been more than excited, more than elated to be here in this seat. Having engaging discussions, of course, exciting debates and empowering insights on women's issue and, of course, on global development as well. Now, I tell you every time right here on the show that women, right, we contribute immensely to the development of the world, not the various countries, the world at large. Now join us as we continue to amplify women's voices, challenge the status quo, and spark meaningful change with progressive women. I always tell you that the tagline is progressive women, and today is not going to be any different. I mean, this evening is not going to be any different. I want to say big thank you to DecoZone, and of course, my wonderful people from Betway, Cowbell Coffee, Flora Tissue, Tango Washing Powder, Telecel, Club Shandy, and LPG. But before we get into it this evening, I want to say, I want to talk about this, something we all want, something we all aspire to have in life, and that's success. Everybody wants it. Everybody dreams of it. We all aspire to succeed and make a mark in life. We push ourselves to excel, enduring challenges along the way just to be successful. Charlie, when work gets tough, and I bet it will, you need that extra boost to keep pushing forward. And on those days where you need someone to be there for you, Cowbell Coffee will be by your side. It's a rich, creamy 3-in-1 blend with a great taste and aroma, which will aid kickstart your day. So whether you're working or just creating amazing memories with friends and loved ones, Cowbell Coffee will be there with you every single moment. So no matter where you're at, as you chase after those goals, keep Cowbell Coffee close to staying motivated and going. Remember, Cowbell Coffee is with you every single moment, okay? And they're here with us this evening to support me. Let me remind you that this is an interactive show, so send in your comments, reactions, and opinions to any of our social media platforms. That's MX24GH on all social media platforms. Remember, the hashtag is The Dish on MX24. Hashtag The Dish on MX24. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been waiting for what we are discussing tonight. Well, it's boosting financial independence. As a woman, it's important. It's very, very important, but we're going to get into that, all right? Now, for a very long time, for far too long, financial freedom has been out of reach for many women, hindered by wage gaps, limited access to resources, and societal expectations. Achieving financial independence is a powerful step towards personal empowerment, especially for women who have long, faced barriers that, when we talk about wealth, they say, hey, women sit on the other side. As we men talk. Well, I'm about to have that conversation. This conversation is designed to help women take control of their finances, break through economic challenges, and unlock their full potential. Tonight, we aim to equip women with the knowledge and confidence to build long-term financial security and create long-lasting wealth. Yes, that is the goal, because I've seen a lot of speakers around the world talk about how important it is for women to own their space, like be able to decide. I heard Hilda Bassi on one of her videos, she was like, the kind of, and pardon my word, all the children are sleeping by this time. If your child is watching TV by this time, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, the kind of useless relationships she was in just because she didn't have money, she realized that she wasn't even in love, that it was definitely based on financial situations. Now that she has her own money as a woman, she's choosing and picking who she's going to be with. And yes, that is what being financially free does to you as a woman. You don't get involved with useless people in useless conversations. And I'm saying useless carefully, okay? Because it's important for us to, put it in quotes, all right? So now joining me today for this conversation, none other than Tonisha Tagoe. My first time watching this one talk, I'm like, it is the zeal, the passion she speaks with. And today, you're going to be experiencing her right here on the show. She's the executive director at Ladies Entrepreneurship Club. Yeah, she's helping women to get the money, okay? And also, Keely-Jade Brewer. She is a broadcaster, beautiful Jesus baby. I need to add that. Good evening, ladies.
Hello.
How you doing?
Is the designations for me?
Yes, ma'am.
I know, right? I sound so important.
She said, also, you are important.
important.
You guys, if you're not following Keely on social media, please, you're missing out because what she's doing over there, guys, I'd say that I go on your page to relieve my stress.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you so much as well. Thank you for putting me on.
Oh, no, you're special. We appreciate you for coming.
you.
And you, young lady.
Thank you.
Let me say this this way. How dare you be so powerful? How dare you? How dare you?
You know, someone said to me the other day, as one of my members in the Caribbean, and she was like, Tonisha, she literally used the word powerful, and I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah?
And she said, that's the problem. The problem is I don't really feel that powerful, honest to God, no.
That's you being modest? Or
No,
you
every
just...
day
No, that's
I'm
her
confused.
being extremely modest. Let me put all her business on Front Street. So she would come to my office where I work.
Yeah.
I start to radio in Cantonment, and when she walks in, it's like
It's a force.
people want to say hi to her,
Yeah.
but then they are so intimidated.
Yeah.
They're like,
Why?
what kind of
Look at
air
her.
does she breathe? We don't want to breathe her air. Maybe we'll choke. Like, the aura is different, you know. Like, they really love Tanisha over there. All the boys were in love, but they couldn't say it.
How are you going to say it?
They were afraid.
Yeah.
And by then, she had her low haircut with the golden hair and all of that.
Because
Imagine dark skin Goldilocks
better
coming
know
through.
not to cross her.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Guys, it's not that deep. You know, I have 8 brothers, right? Mostly biological, a couple of adopted, and a couple of just inherited. 3 fathers and a son. And of course, I'm straight. So I'm surrounded by masculine energy.
Yeah, truly.
But I'm extremely, well, at least I like to believe I am, and I'm extremely feminine in my delivery. But there's an undertone, I think, of confidence that I think people can, they can sense. And a long time ago, I used to be afraid of it because I felt like maybe that's why I don't have many friends, even though I have so many friends. But I was like, maybe I don't have any friends. And then one day, I realized the value because people who are up to no good and know that they shouldn't, if they mess around, or feel like if they mess around, trouble will come, avoid causing me trouble. So then I decided to embrace it. So I'm actually very perfectly fine.
So basically, it's nonsense repellent.
It's not
that you spray every morning before you leave home.
Exactly.
We're here for it.
Exactly. Because
I'm
we
just
met on Instagram.
Nonsense repellent, really?
For real.
Yeah. I'm very friendly. And most of my friends, we met on Instagram because I think I just DM'd you.
Yeah.
And I always DM you. I'm a very friendly person. But, you know, not all the rain. Huh?
I mean,
Ladies, and like I said earlier, I'm super honored to have you both on and 2 powerful women who are doing extremely well in the sectors they find themselves in. They're not coming here to come for nobody. Like, they're just really cool. Like, super cool chicks. I love them. I love them. Now let's get into it, ladies. Let's get into it. Financial independence. You're going to tell me what it means to you. Let's start with her.
Yeah.
right. So off the cuff, I was having a conversation with Tonisha, and I was telling her that to me, financial independence means not worrying about certain things anymore. I don't want to wake up when it's the 15th of the month and I'm budgeting that, Charlie, if I don't manage this money well, my fuel tank is going to be on E. And not my car fuel tank. My life's fuel tank is going to be on E. So I need to be able to make enough that I don't need to worry about certain things. For example, food, shelter, water, mobility. I should be able to go and come as I please. Even if I want to go to Tokyo today, I should be able to afford 5 times of that ticket. To be able to go and come, to know that, yes, I'm able to sustain myself as a woman. And also, I need to be able to have enough to give to others who are in need. Because it's very painful when those who you care about hit you up and they're like, oh, I need help with this thing, and you genuinely can't help.
Them.
It's very painful, and unfortunately, sometimes in our Ghanaian context, people think you are being stingy. But that's not the case. Just because you see me eating good doesn't mean I don't have problems. As well, I'm eating my comfort food for the day. We don't know whether tomorrow I'll eat. You understand?
Therapy.
Yeah. So I think that's what financial independence means to me, and I think it's important for women to have financial independence.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but we're going to get into that really deep later. What does financial independence mean to you? I've seen you talk about it on different platforms, and it's the way you deliver it. One will leave the room thinking that, God, am I a vegetable? Why are you doing this to me?
Am I a leaf?
The pressure. Okay, so I mean, For me, I had my son at 16. Okay, had my first jobs also at 16 in film, in education, and I also started my first business around like 15, 16. I'm 40 next year. Yeah, I know.
Stop.
I know.
Stop.
Stop it.
For your diet plan. We need your skincare routine and your diet plan.
Pure water. A lot of stamina.
Oh.
And then just wait and then moisturize after. That's all.
Okay.
Anyway, so I
hope you're writing it.
Yeah, that's all. It's like a simple routine.
Let's go.
Less is more. But no, I say that because over the 22, he's only 23, so 23 years of my basically adult life, I have found myself in so many situations. The one thing that has really helped me maintain a certain amount of financial independence is entrepreneurship, honestly. And the ability to be like, oh my God, I'm going to need more money. Like, I'm going to need more money for something. Right, what am I going to sell? What do my audience need? What is the right price? Like, what's the lowest price I can sell it at so I can get the most? Like, that's what financial independence is to me. And I think that that's the most important thing for most women because, yes, with our basics and our bare minimum, true. But like you mentioned, when people need something, but also emergencies, you know, like a few years ago, my dad suddenly passed away and I was in Dubai at the time and I was the closest to Ghana and it was the pandemic. So I was the one that had to get myself here ASAP and do that. And that was outside of my basic financial expectations for that month. But the ability to then say, right, I need to make some money to be able to do that helped. So for me, I think financial independence is everything you said, but including the ability to increase your revenue when you need.
Right, so we're talking about, I mean, you grew up in this setting where you're taught how to live your life, like just get a job, go to school, graduate from the university, become a lawyer and a doctor. So lots of people, if they're not lucky enough to have parents who were already in business, selling something, they do not have the skill to make any money, any extra money apart from, you know, knowing their professional ways. What are some of the skills women can adopt into their lives this 21st century? Are we in the 22nd century? You're saying 21st?
2024.
2024. I'm not sure which one we're at.
Yes.
What kind of skills can women adopt to add on to their already known professions that, you know, bring them money?
Okay, so you know what? She's going to come with all the statistical facts.
Yeah. No. Because she will.
Because she will.
Yeah.
But for me, I'll tell you that I think the one key trait you need is actually resilience, because resilience is going to kind of fuel everything else you learn along the way. So even if you learn financial literacy, you need resilience to be able to stand firm in situations that require you to apply the financial literacy. So I would say you need to be strong-willed, you need to be resilient, you need to know what you want, you need to be an effective planner. Also, time management. This part of the world, we don't take it seriously. You tell someone that I need you to come and meet me at 12:30 because I have a 1 p.m. meeting that I cannot miss. And it's right next door. So meet me at this place at 12:30. We're going to chop it up. And then the person will come at 2 p.m. and expect you to be sitting there waiting for them.
And be cool about it.
And be cool about it. And life really doesn't work that way. You're smiling. I'm not smiling with you, you know, like, why are you late? You get me?
Do you know who is smiling right now?
Who?
My producer.
Yeah?
She's probably shouting, yes, yes.
So yes, being punctual is very important. Being punctual is not just you appearing for the sake of it. It shows the person that I respect you enough to respect your time. And I also value the fact that you have a lot to do, but you're creating this time for me. So thank you for that. And this is why I'm here. Let's get it over and done with.
Exactly.
You know, you can't be disrespecting people's time and expect them to love you. They're not going to pamper you for that. So time management is very important. And unfortunately, my generation, the cross between the millennials and the Gen Z, in fact, going even into Gen Z, you don't like reading. You need to be a bookworm. You need to be able to sit down and read and learn to write your plans down. Don't think you can keep it up here. There may have been certain things that you planned, let's say 5 years ago, that you had in your mind. If I ask you to give me the nitty-gritty details of those things, you can't come up with them. You may have a rough idea. There may be some ideas that you even forget. So learn to write things down. You have the notes app. The iPhone that you just bought is not just for Snapchat and Instagram Live. Open the Notes app. That's why the Notes app exists. write down your plans. And sometimes when you're even in a rough spot or you have a creative block, you can go back to refer to your notes. You scroll, you find something, and you have a eureka moment, and you can apply it. So you just have to be headstrong with what you are doing and learn organization. I think it's very important. Yes.
These skills are very, very essential. One would have said that they're so basic. One would have thought, not basic in the sense, in its
exactly. It's so
like,
simple that you would think
you think everybody would have it, but like I remember there was a time we're talking about time management, and someone was saying, "Oh, we change now." And I was like, you see, sometimes when I see people react to like someone's lateness, and it's in a space for like it's a space of like, I'm not gonna take this person seriously again. I think other people don't understand, but I do.
Yeah.
And I feel like that moment, your posture shouldn't be, I am reacting to it, like I'm being defensive, but rather, no matter what it is, you'd realize that the people would make it look like, oh, I'm the victim. Why am I the one being treated wrong? I'm just saying this because of the
I
time.
feel you.
I mean, it's crazy, but for you, what would it be?
Actually, so I think that those are all the correct soft skills, to be honest with you, especially time management. And you know, the thing with the time thing is that if someone is late to the meeting, especially if they're the client, that means they'll be late to pay you. That means they'll be late to send you the information.
That is true.
Yeah. So read the room. Read the room. Read the signs. Wow. You know, I try and tell my female entrepreneurs exactly that. I'm like, you have to read the room. If someone is not timely, if they don't like to make notes, if they don't like to do all these different things, you have to be worried, because they say to you, oh, I want to hire you to do this, but they didn't write down what they want you to do. That means that at some point they're going to say, no, that's not what I asked for. I asked for this. And where's your evidence? They're not on time. They're not going to pay you on time. So you're saying, oh, my check is late. Of course your check is late. The person was late the first day. So, you know, those are all accurate. But lately, we started running this thing called AI Excellence Workshops in Ladies Entrepreneurship Club, because actually, you know, I'm dyslexic. So the fact of the bit about writing things, as much as I'm like, yeah, the person should at least write the bullet points of what they want, I actually don't like writing. As much as I'm a dean of learning and teaching, words are my enemy because I'm dyslexic. Now, we're in a new space where there's AI, and ChatGPT allows you to talk to it. And this thing talks in like Twi, talks in Patois.
Yeah, I made my ChatGPT speak to me in Pidgin the other day. It was heavenly. We had a whole 30-minute conversation.
You're joking?
Swear.
Yeah, in Pidgin. But it can't do Ghanaian Pidgin. It can only do Nigerian Pidgin for now. So I was teaching it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, there's a lot that once you've covered, you know, what's been listed previously, you now need to get into strategy. I think AI is one of the key things that people need to get familiar with.
Right.
Open up ChatGPT and say, I want to open a makeup shop, or I don't know, cosmetics factory, or whatever, I don't know. I'm in Ghana. What are the price projections? What's the average revenue I can make? How much? Ask all the questions, because especially if you can't afford the advice, or, you know, the coaching or the training, or, you know, whatever, that's the quickest and fastest way to get something. And, you know, with GPT, you can say, okay, now give this to me as a document, and it'll give it to you as a document. So even though it's writing chat, it can actually give you a Word document. So you can actually get it to write a proposal, then say, give it to me as a document. Draft out a spreadsheet, give it to me as an Excel document. So I think AI is a huge skill to learn. But a little bit more on the soft skills side, I think the most important one is like literally understanding the room, like reading the room, understanding people. Because in business, everything is people. You're a person. You want other people to be attracted to the business that you run, but they won't be attracted to the business. They'll be attracted to you, right? And then you want people to give you their money, and you're supposed to give people back value. So that whole people thing is very important, and not from the perspective of being likable, but being clear, right? So then the next one is about communication. Like you know, like we said, I have a lot of communication that's like non-verbal and works for me. Sometimes people just don't know what their non-verbal communication is giving, so they think they're saying the right thing, but they're acting the other, right? So if you imagine what you were saying about everyone being afraid of me, if I was opening my mouth and being like, hi, everyone would be like, what's wrong with her? They wouldn't have accepted the niceness, because the non-verbal is so much stronger. So really understanding people, and then understanding yourself and what your communication is to people that you're not trying to communicate. So you can then balance that off with what you are trying, and that will help you make the sales.
Now, when it comes to so when I started, I talked about how I've listened and watched a couple of speakers talk about how it's important for a woman to have her own money. I mean, now when you say it, it's like trying to say that let the woman not need a man. is how it's sounding like. If you get what I mean. Like, a lot of people are interpreting you saying that I need my own money to be able to make certain decisions for myself, and it sounded like, oh, okay, you want to join the people who are saying men are not necessary in this world. How are you able to communicate that without having to be unliked or just thrown out into the bush like everybody else have been? And I get the way you're looking at me, because you're like, why do you want me to be liked when I just need money for myself to be taken care of myself? But, I get it. But then there are women who want to be safe, who want to just play safe. Let me put it that way. Play safe in the space where we find ourselves. We're in Ghana, we're in Africa. Lots of women have been painted in a certain light that, you know, they originally didn't plan it to be, but now they have to live with it. How are we able to be graceful and communicate that, listen, my priorities are to make my life a bit more comfortable. So again, drawing certain boundaries with themselves. How are we able to do that?
Honestly, I feel like haters are going to hate and potatoes will always potatoes. Let's start from there, right? Because at the end of the day...
You say the most...
No, because frankly speaking, you can't tell me that because I want something for myself automatically means I hate men. I cannot hate men as a straight woman. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
My orientation doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
You understand? And just because I want to do something for myself doesn't mean I'm diminishing the role of a man in my life as a woman. So having it for myself doesn't mean I'm going to make the money to come and carry my shoulders and step on someone's son's head. No, I want the money so that I'm able to handle certain things for myself as an individual. For example, I don't understand why as a woman I should enter into marriage and I don't carry anything into the marriage. Why am I entering empty-handed? Anything can happen. Even if I marry Bill Gates today, and he's really not my type, right? But if I do marry Bill Gates today, and I become a benefactor of his money in some way, shape, or form, at the same time, anything can happen. It could all go away. And just because I've entered into a covenant with a man who is going to be a provider and who's going to supply the needs of the household, it doesn't negate the fact that I can also pitch in. Yes, I should be able to make money, consider a land, buy it, build something for myself so that my children also get to benefit from that, and so I can also help other people. Honestly, for me, financial independence is not even about me so much. It's about being able to help other people. I need to be able to have enough to bless others. So when people come with those arguments, it's very confusing. And I think it's also because the feminist arguments, you know, the toxic feminist arguments, unfortunately, a lot of young women, especially the ones on Twitter, have, I'll call out the demographic streets. Those ones have decided that feminism has to be toxic. Feminism doesn't mean you hate men. It's about you as a woman asking for equal opportunities as men. If you are hosting a TV show as a man and I'm hosting a TV show as a woman, why is it that you are collecting 10 and I'm being paid 5 when we're doing the same work? That's the bottom line of what feminism is. But this, I can't find TV-friendly words for it, but this thing that people have started with the toxic feminism, it doesn't make sense to me at all. Because you do not hate men. It's also a different agenda to even kill what it originally was supposed to be. Because the truth is, half of the girls arguing, you don't hate men, you have boyfriends you are fighting for. You have husbands. You are chasing girls that, why are they in your boyfriend's DMs? You are angry, but you are pretending to hate men. It's hypocritical at the end of the day. And also, a lot of people in our society, unfortunately, center the worth of a woman around whether she's married or not. So if she's married, you treat her differently, you accord her a different level of respect. But if she's not married, even if she has the most A1 character, you may dismiss her. You know, so I think that's where all those thoughts come from. And it doesn't make sense, because sometimes the person who's married has a terrible character. And you, the single Pringle, you are coming with so much intellect and poise and grace, and you just be thrown aside because they feel like, if a man can't take you seriously, then I'm not going to take you seriously. Forgetting that marriage is not something you just jump into. You don't marry for marrying's sake. You know, it's a purpose-driven thing. So I think we need to understand those basics, first of all, so we can change our mindset. And women can achieve. You don't need the sugar daddy. You don't need the boss to sleep upwards, to move upwards just because you want to gain something. You decide that you're going to sell yourself. It's not important.
And you know, like I said earlier, it's because of lack of, that puts a lot of weight, the thoughts that, oh, I cannot do it myself. Like, this is not possible. Let me just say it. If everybody knew, and I'm going to reference Hilda Basi again, if she knew that she was going to be this powerful and have her own money, she has said it from her own mouth that she wouldn't have been in certain relationships.
Yeah, and
from her own mouth.
And it's unfortunate because growing up as a girl, what do you hear at home? If you don't cook and clean, you won't find any good man to marry you. You go and marry, you marry some Kwanchan boy, you marry a Goro boy. Those are the kind of things you hear. So, so that's where you equate your worth to, but it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't make any sense. We need to be more fair to ourselves.
Absolutely.
And switch our mindset as a society and allow women to thrive. If you believe that a man can have a great destiny, you look at men and say, that man is great, his destiny is great. God created man and woman. Why would God give destiny to man and he won't give to a woman as well? You have a purpose. Please go out there and seek it. It's very important. Make sure it works out for you. And don't die. Don't die with your talents in you. Die empty. Put everything out there, and bed forth. Yeah.
After. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think that, I guess, I don't really see the difference between a woman having her own money and a woman having her own shoes.
Honestly, it's a necessity, isn't it?
It's a basic thing. And it's not, so when I say her own, because that's the point of the question, it could still be like money in their marital pot that the man knows the woman's going to spend or whatever have. Like, it could still be our money. The point is no access to funds is financial abuse. So why would you... No, it is though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If you stop someone from having access to finance, it's a form of abuse. So it's a form of abuse called financial abuse. So why would you stop someone from having access to money? I don't get it. And I don't think that most men are trying to do that anyway, like most men. So if there's a reason why someone's trying to do that, then, that's for a deeper conversation to understand what their insecurities are around. Maybe they've got nightmares that if you have like one city, you'll run away to China with your one city.
And that's a them problem.
But that's it. So
I shouldn't suffer for it.
No,
don't put me through that stress.
Like if you're insecure, be insecure in your corner. It has
don't come here.
Because what if I have running shoes? I can run to Abri. It's the same thing I could do, right? So it's about the potential of the possibility of what the person can do once they have this resource. That's the real fear. So the dialogue needs to be had around that, like. Because you can't put someone into a state where they have no money just because you're anxious about something that hasn't occurred, or maybe you're anxious about something that should occur, right? Because it's like you're worried if she has money, she'll leave you because she should. You know what I mean? Because apart from that, I don't see how. I really don't see that big difference, because it's like you said, the women also having access to finances also means, like in the pandemic, a lot of men who were the main breadwinners fell ill with COVID. And a lot of women had to start businesses because they didn't have money, because their men always looked after all the money, and the men suffered because their women didn't have money. So it's not really about competitiveness. It's actually a value add to everyone. And like she said, maybe it's just she uses it to buy land and build a house, and he just says, oh, some small project she's doing. Like maybe it never ends up being anything, and everyone just grows old, happily married, and passes away. But why is there a difference between money, shoes, clothes? Everyone should have, right?
Right.
Something just crossed my mind. There's this weird cycle that happens in our society. So if you're a young lady, let's say you get married, you have kids, you have the nice house with the 2 cars, and your husband has a spare house in a Brewer, but you're living the life. You're living your most bougie life. And then something unfortunate happens. Your husband passes away, and some way, somehow, he loses his fortune. At that point, society expects you to wake up and pick up the pieces and take care of your children and start from scratch. Whereas you could have started that in the beginning, even before you got married.
Absolutely.
So you'd have something to take care of your children after. So the main question here is it that society wants to see us in that state? Do they think it is a noble thing to be in that state? To suffer? How is suffering a crown,
Listen, the conversation has we've actually relaunched the conversation, and it's getting really heated right here in the studios. The women are intense, brilliant, very, very passion-driven. In fact, they want to see us all win, and that is why we bring you progressive women right here on the show. We're going for a quick commercial break. When we return, the conversation continues right here on The Dish, right here on MX24. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to The Dish right here on MX24. If you're just joining in, you made the right choice. But you're a little late, but it's okay. There's still more to learn right here on the show. Pick up your pen and paper. Let's get talking and learning, and of course, growing together. That's what I told you about this show this year. We're trying to be better women after the season ends. We're going to sit down and say that, wow, I have learned something new and I've learned something different and I'm a better woman. I've become the better version of the woman that I saw myself to be a couple of months ago, and that is the goal of the show. My name is Miriam. You're welcome back here. I want to say a big thank you to Decor Zone for giving us this beautiful set, Cowboy Coffee, for always keeping me awake. Jay was asking the other day, a cup of coffee will keep you awake every day, and even stronger if it's cowbell coffee, okay? Right, let's get into it. My ladies are still here, and I always say this. Now, I keep saying it, that I think there's going to be a point where I stop saying this. The conversations we have when the cameras are not on us are sometimes even more intense than what we bring on air.
Actually,
and I wish we put cameras on us whilst we're, gone on break so we can keep it together, right? But ladies, thank you so much for joining us once again. Now, let's get into it. When it comes to making, I was going to tell you a story about a lady I met recently. I think that was 2023, and she was talking about, if she wanted this, she saw a picture of mine. Okay. And I've known this girl from school. She's like, oh, I love this hair. I was like, oh, yeah, I have this girl for you. I'll hook you up. And I always hook my girl up for this thing. Then the day when we're going to have the event, it was for an event. So they came by my place and we're getting ready. And she was like, Charlie, I couldn't buy it all. I was like, okay, cool, Charlie. Sometimes it's not even that deep. This is just hair. Forget it. I mean, what you're wearing is also pretty good. And she was like, yeah, I can't wait to start working. I'm like, what, you're not working? She's like, yeah, my husband doesn't want me to work, but we're still talking about it. I'm like, so, like, wait. So if you need, like, something right now, you have to ask. He's like, yeah, Charlie, it's frustrating, but yeah, I have to go and ask him. And it's always like, but I think it's from a good place because, we have kids. I'm like, girl, I think I need to talk to this man for you. And I think that's overstepping, but I don't want to get to a place where I have seen it before.
I think it's not even about you talking to the man. It's about her waking up as a person. And because that's oppression.
Yes.
What do you mean by I can't work? So do you think God created me? He took out time to create me.
To come and take care of your children.
Decided to breathe air into me, send me to this earth. I landed in Ghana. I didn't complain. I'm managing. And then I married you, and you believe that all the training, the school, everything, my talents, it should just be confined to sitting in the house and doing yasamasa for you. Oh, my dear. Now, I'm not saying I won't submit, but I have a life as well, and you can't step on that.
One thing I did, though, now there's somebody that my family loves. And so we're very close to the guy as well. So I said we're going to talk to him. But then I felt like that's overstepping, right? And so I told my friend that, listen, it's either you call mommy into this and get her to talk to him. Now, we're in 2022. I think this happened in 2022 or 2023. 2024, she's working now. She's working with one of the government institutions because she's actually that good. And the guy will constantly text my mom randomly, like, thank you so much for teaching me. Because in his mind, it was like, so who's going to take care of our kids? It wasn't even from a place of, like, I just want to I want to suppress this girl. Just like, I don't want my kids to make certain mistakes. So I'll make her the money. I'll struggle. I'll suffer and get the money so that my wife can now take care of the nurturing aspect of these children. But now that they're both making money, he's like, Charlie, it's a little easier. And she loves her kids. So there are certain things I don't have to even bother about taking because she's the one doing them. And so for us, it's not to make enough to suppress the men or to step on their necks, like you rightly said, like to go and suppress them. That's not the point. That's a story, by the way. Now, you're going to touch on something regarding the how we're able to make our own money without having to look a certain type of way in the society. Who was doing that? You?
How to make money without having to look
a certain type of way, like, being, is the word is not marginalized, being looked at in the lens of an arrogant person. Yeah.
I mean, I think that, my strongest experience of that is here in Ghana.
Yeah.
People are very visually motivated and demotivated, but it's irrelevant because your landlord takes cash, right?
Yeah. It doesn't take people's emotions.
It doesn't take emotions. It doesn't take hugs. It doesn't take cuddles.
Rent.
He won't even take watching. Can you believe? He won't even take fufu. So you need to collect your money. So I think it's like you said, when you wake up, there is a certain energy that comes out from there. The vibe of, I'm not sure, do I look okay? Will they respect this? That doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters. at all. I've always looked really young. Like in my 20s, I looked like I was in my teens. And now I'm nearly 40. I still look too young.
Yes.
So I always get that thing where people think they know my age. But the vibe I give, they don't even want to start doing mathematics. So it always ends up perfectly fine, you know? And also you don't really want to do business with people that don't respect you. So again, it's that kind of, what do you say, the filter, the nonsense filter.
Yeah.
People that don't respect you cannot be good clients. They'll be very annoying. They'll let you do the work, then they'll start arguing with you about why should they pay you. Actually, on reflection, your fees are too high. They always have a story to tell. So weed it away. The more that as people, not just as women, we identify the things that we don't like and that we want to remove, the more the things we want comes towards us. It's actually just us letting in all the mess. So like the world doesn't really know what to do and everyone just comes. But once people see, oh, okay, this person, only works with female entrepreneurs, they're going to recommend their sister, their mother, their cousin, their aunt. They won't recommend their father. So you have to like make a point, like I only work with this type of client or this type of person, I expect these requirements, etc. Most people will have something to say, they'll be arrogant. But who wants an arrogant client? Don't want that person. Yeah. So I think it's less about thinking about how we'll deal with how we look and more focusing on the vibe that we put out, because that is what we will get back. And it's the same reason you can dress up very nice. Two women can dress up very nice and go to a club. One woman gives off the vibe that says one thing, another woman gives off the vibe that says another thing. You can see sometimes the friends arguing. Why is it that he's looking at you instead of me? Why do people always think this? It's a vibe. So, and it's the same in business.
Now, for people who are new to this whole thing of managing their own finances and having to decide to make their own money, they're new to it, probably have worked in spaces where, or provided for their entire lives. I mean, as young girls, we probably lived in your parents' home for a long, long time. Now, somehow you just want to be out of the house. And you're on your own and you want to make certain reasonable financial decisions, but you don't know how to go about it. I'm going to let you speak on that one because that's your field. How are you able to decide that these are the parts I want to take, this is how I have to go by it, book for book, word for word, this is how I'm supposed to make it happen?
Okay, so it's very funny because you were telling me your one city challenge.
Oh, one CD challenge?
No, yes, in university.
It was a college exercise in Ashesi where they gave us one CD for a course called Foundations of Entrepreneurship and Design, FDE, and they will give you one CD and tell you need to start a business with it. And for the next 2 semesters, you're going to present and give us updates on how far the business is going. So they give that to your team. You're a team of 5. They give you one CD and tell you go out into the world and make sure it works. And the lesson I was sharing with her that we learned from that is that the way you start up a business when you have nothing is by using other people's money. Now, I'm not encouraging you to rob anybody. That's illegal, right?
Yeah, so you can't advise.
It's illegal. But what you can do is you put together your proposal and make it so wholesome. Make your idea wholesome without necessarily selling yourself out, because some people are shady. They'll take your idea and run away with it. But you give out enough information to tug the heart of whoever your investor is, and it's called a value proposition. So you put out the value proposition, and it's something that they can resonate with and say, okay, based on this, I believe in this project, so I'm going to invest. Then you can get the money from the investor and use that to set up your business and figure out your
So technically, they're just telling you that you have nothing to start this business with. That's what you were taught, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So similarly, I mean, more grassroots in terms of your example, but I thought that was a really interesting one to bring in for people who have the confidence to approach an investor. But actually, most people should really be selling what they know. And everybody knows something. So for example, the last time I checked the statistics, I said I wouldn't say any, but this one. Over 10,000 people learn about Facebook for the first time every day. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
Every day. Do you know how to use Facebook?
Yeah.
Do you know how to use Facebook? You know, people don't know how to use Facebook. So the point is that that person knows something that other people don't know.
Yeah.
The issue is we don't have that respect for our own knowledge. And usually because a lot of people tell us when we don't know anything, especially as women. People are always trying to devalue our knowledge, right? But everybody knows something. So whether it's like, okay, I'm going to be a menstrual coach for young girls, but you know how to have a period. You know all the mistakes. And you know all the embarrassing moments. So what the most likely thing you'll do is your mentees will call you to say, oh, this happened today, what do I do? And then you'll just guide. That's free. But it's like, there's different things that everybody knows. For me, because I also have a career path, right, in education. When I wanted to start my business, I just decided to commoditize my knowledge.
Your knowledge, yeah.
So literally, whatever I would teach in the education space, I think about what is the most popular topics, what is the most interesting topics that executives want to know, because I decided who I want to sell to. And that's it. I put a price tag on it, and I just started telling people. So I didn't even make a pitch. People ask me, what do you do? I say, I help people to start, build, grow, and sell businesses. They'll be like, wow, I want to start a business. I want to build a business. I want to grow a business. I want to sell a business. Now, we help people also list on the local stock exchange. People are like, I want to list on the stock exchange. Halas, right?
Yeah, make it work.
And then they'll just ask you, how much is it? Or how do you do it? And, you're just honest. I have meetings. Like, we have a thing called Power Hour, which is an hour to talk to me for a price. I have a conversation. I don't write anything. I won't send you anything. You use a link, you book the hour, we'll have the conversation. You'll brief me first, we'll have the conversation, then we'll say goodbye. And you have your to-do list. Because the price of that hour does not include me writing on paper, right? So, do you understand what I mean? So,
do you see you're wasting all your time? You're throwing it that way.
Because there's a different price for if I have to then take a pen and paper.
It's true.
Can you imagine?
You have to be charging people.
There's a
For all the things you put on social media,
do you understand?
You have to put some price. That's therapy,
Guys, I'm dyslexic. When you guys do things with pen and paper, for me it's 4 times harder. So I am not picking up anything and typing any. Today I sent a WhatsApp broadcast saying, hi, Tonisha, yada, yada, yada. And then at the end, bring your business class. See my phone. Hi, it's Tobisha. And then instead of being your business class, did I see it? No, broadcasted it to hundreds of people. Everyone came back and said, did you change your name? Did you change your name? But of course, because I'm comfortable with my typos and my mistakes, and also I know my phone did that one, not me.
Yeah.
Right? It's fine. But like literally, the point is if I'm picking up pen and paper and I'm doing something for you, it's a totally different price. And then the level of the somethings changes the situation. So for any young woman who's thinking, look, I need to start making money, I need to start moving out, take a seat, make a note. What do you know very well that other people don't know, but they would pay to have the advice on? And make it as cheap as you can, but remember, it's not about what you would pay. You are not the customer. It's what they would pay. And once you've got that price that they would pay, which is probably more expensive than what you would pay, then that's it. You start having a conversation, start telling people, it takes like 3 years to get good in business. That's the truth. But depending on what you're selling, like you used to push your comedy, that went in 5 minutes. Right? So depending on what you're selling, the uptake will be quick. So then you have to, if you want the money quicker, then you do the thinking better. And then you just push it and sell it, and people will pay for it. The thing is that other people need it. Like, you must be to be a good person, you have to be remembering that someone is sitting in a corner somewhere crying because they don't have some information. And you have that information, but you are being selfish. You're sitting in your house, busy going, oh, but what if my voice, but what if my dress, but what if my eyebrow?
Me, my background.
Can you imagine?
My background, my camera is blurry, I can't. Whereas you have the information, you are sitting there and you are broke and you're upset with yourself and expect the world to drop money in your lap. It doesn't work that way.
And the customer is sitting there also similarly crying.
Yeah.
Because they think it doesn't exist, right? But it's right there in you. So in that case, you're the selfish and mean person because your customer is waiting. So yeah, that's what I think. Any young lady that wants to get out there and start making money, start planning to move out, start looking at everything that you know and understand. Pick 1 or 2 things. And every time someone asks you, what do you do? Forget what you normally do. Just tell them that's what you do. Tell them that's what you do. And when you get the person that asks you how much you do it for, whatever, you just tell them how much you do it for. There's no paperwork exchanging. Don't worry about proposals, business cards, contracts, whatever. You're a specialist, right? So if they want it, then they should be ready to pay for it. And then at that point, when you're confident, you say the price. My first price for everything was $750. I don't know, the ancestors, the energy, everything was $750.
$750?
I swear, if you ask me how much to jump, $750, how much to walk, $750. All I ever said was $750. But I collected many $750s. Many $750s.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
$50s.
Yeah. You just pick a number and you just say it with your chest. That's all.
Yeah. Now for you, right?
Yeah.
What do you think realistically for you works for any woman who wants to get this thing done? Now, I'm saying this carefully because a lot of women try to do things, and once it does not work, they kind of like just say, you know what, it's done.
Yeah, you see, so that's where the conversation about resilience comes back in.
Yeah.
Life is not going to be fair to you. Life is something you need to defeat. Yes. So you need to fight and make sure you step on life's neck, whether life likes it or not.
Choke it.
You need to choke life. to make sure you get the best out of it. Otherwise, you're always going to be left wanting. You're always going to be feeling, you know what, I'm so underprivileged and woe is me and come and rescue me, Rapunzel, Rapunzel. Like, no one cares, unfortunately. And it's a harsh lesson you need to learn very early in life that no one cares. So with that being said, resilience is very important, but you are asking about being financially independent for a first-time movers, first-time mover from, you know, the family home, leaving the nest and all of that. I did that this year, actually.
Oh, wow.
No.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
You're
guys.
welcome to the club.
You're welcome.
Did you check the
Thank
bills?
you. Oh, I did. So what happened was I prepared. You have to prepare.
Yeah.
You have to prepare. It's a lot of research, you know, but we have property listing sites here in Ghana that people don't talk about. Mikasa exists. Go to Mikasa. Yeah. Or, I didn't recommend going to Gigi. But go
Gigi has all things.
Yes.
But Instagram is good nowadays.
Exactly. So you can check out a realtor, look at their prices. Befriend some realtors as well. Try to, in fact, for example, if you go to Mikasa, let's say you see a property, you're like, okay, this is a moderate apartment or a moderate room that I can rent for myself and go and stay inside. Once you see that, take the person's number. It's right on the platform anyway. Call the person. If the person seems like a good vibe, build a rapport with them. You're not moving out immediately. You are trying to build a network of people who can assist you to find the perfect place within your budget.
Yes.
So that you're not living at the back of some kiosk just because your budget is small. They will look out for you. Some of them would even negotiate with the landlord for you and say, oh, Charlie, this is my client. My client can't pay 2 years. My client can only pay 1 year, but you know me, so please, let's make it work. They will talk for you. So do your research, form your budget. And I would advise that your budget for your place should not be more than 50% of what you make monthly. Yes. So you know that you have to pay in bulk. You're going to hustle to find that bulk money. But at the end of the day, make sure that whatever you decide to rent is not more than 50% of what you are making. So that every month when your salary hits, if you're a salaried worker, you can take out that money and throw it into savings. And nowadays, we know how difficult it is to save. Things are crazily expensive for no reason. But at the same time, you need to be diligent. So that's where diligence kicks in. You need to be disciplined. Money is a spirit, okay? Money is a spirit. And when you are indisciplined, spiritual things cannot work with you. Spiritual things are not based on feelings. They're based on principles and laws. So if something is going to work for you spiritually, you need to adhere to the laws. That's why when people go and see their local malam or babalawo, before they enter into the shrine, what do? They take off their shoes before they walk into. Say. Exactly. You can't walk into, quote unquote, they call it their sacred ground. You can't walk onto someone's sacred ground with your dirty shoes. So it's the same thing. When it comes to money, you need to apply principles like diligence, discipline, sacrifice. We know the wig is beautiful. You want the wig. I want the wig too. I really want the wig too. But that's not a priority right now. Write down a list of your priorities, label them from 1 to 6, and put them down and say, okay, this is what is most important. If nothing falls under this list, it doesn't qualify for me to touch the savings for any reason. And you stick to that. And sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you're at home, it's been a bad work week, you want to unwind, get your favorite pizza, watch something on Netflix or on TV, you want to watch your favorite show, but then that pizza money, you realize you can't take it from the current account. You also can't go and touch the savings. If you're indisciplined, you touch the savings and say, oh, I'll replace it, until you totally deplete it. You understand? So you need that diligence. And also take your time. Know that you're going to crawl before you ball, right?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, crawl before you ball.
T-shirts, crawl before you ball. We write that down.
In the words of Jay-Z and Kanye West, right? You need to crawl before you ball. You've rented your first apartment. It's not now you're coming to furnish it like a room at Villaggio or a room at the gallery. Do the basics. Where you need to sleep and what you eat and where you shower. Those are your basics. Handle those ones first. And even with that, do it modestly. Because you don't know, anything can happen. You might have electrical issues at your new place. You may have water issues that you need to sort out. Find ways to save money. You know, and also I would say the biggest principle when it comes to independence and having enough always is to be a giver, be a dangerous giver, be a dangerous giver. If you see that someone genuinely needs help and you really feel convicted within yourself, please go ahead and help the person. Because through that, your money just comes back to you. So be good to people, help people out, and befriend people in your area as well. I'm not the talking type. I don't like human beings. Shake it off. The world is not going to bend to your standards. You are going to have to find a way to hack the world to make it work for you. And with that, you need to deal with people. So make sure your people skills are A1. For me, when I moved out, first thing I did, I realized that, okay, there's a provision shop in my area. There's a guy that sells really nice chicken kebab. Shouts to him. Shouts to my guy them. And, and there are other shops that I may need stuff from. So what do? Step outside of the apartment. Befriend the ladies that work in the compound. Befriend the security guy. Cook. Share with them. Go to the local salon. Go there for the first time. Become acquainted with the people. Be on first name basis with the people you live with. Because trust me, it will save you a lot. There are some days where, as a young girl, you may not be able to afford to buy the provisions. Every woman has hit that point where you are broke. You can't afford the groceries. And it's not even about branding anymore. Everyone has those seasons. And it doesn't make you less of a person. But in those seasons, it's those people that people normally overlook.
They're the ones that
They're the ones that come through to save you. So don't look down on anyone. Don't feel like, oh, I'm better than my neighbor, so I'm not going to talk to anyone. No. Talk to people. Build genuine relationships with people, because they'll be the ones to save you in times of trouble. So it's a balance of you having discernment, having people skills, and then also being disciplined with your money and knowing how money works so you attract it.
We could have just closed the show now. Because with all that you have said from the technical aspect, this for me is probably what kind of like just holds it all together. Because with people's skills, with discipline with your own money, because sometimes you're like, Charlie.
Sometimes the wig is nice, so the wig, Charlie.
Or them you guys need to, let me tell you something about my hairstyles my whole life. I've always gone for the cheapest minimum input, maximum output hairstyles. For 20 years, I had a haircut. And even in England, my haircut cost me like £5. I think here, it was always very cheap. Like, what's the price of a haircut? I always had number one and a shape up. Every 4 weeks, I bleach my hair. Cheapest thing. Even now, my locks, when I retwist my locks, it's like 100 cities.
You don't have to spend that much on your hair.
No, and I'm not supposed to retwist my locks for 6 to 8 weeks. And find a cheap hairstyle that looks very good on you.
And we need to learn skills as well. Just because you can go to the salon doesn't mean you shouldn't learn how to hold a blow dryer and hold a brush and a comb. Know your hair.
Exactly.
The truth is,
shade me all you want. I don't care at this point. Shade me.
We're not shading
Talk to me.
Remember, we're advising someone else.
I'll go through the corners. I won't go through the corners.
Don't go through the corners. Talk to me.
You need to learn how to do your hair. You see, the truth is, no one is going to know how to do your hair better than you.
Well, that's why they're trained to do it.
So what if you're in a fix?
Oh, they will fix it.
You see, when you end up spending like some crazy amounts.
Sometimes to straighten your own hair, I traveled and I said, I'm going to buy a hot comb, buy straightener. I came with shopping.
Hey, you went far.
I bought hot comb, I bought straightener, I bought blow dryer, and then I bought this small the tonguing, the very small one, the one with the very small pin.
Oh yeah.
I said, because listen, you people, these salons are killing me.
They're killing me.
I think, and learning it, I bet it's not easy, but for you know that you're going to at least benefit from this after suffering hours in the middle of the night. Yes, I'm telling you, in the middle of the night, I put on the lights and I'm.
Like sometimes you're crying, but you're doing it.
Like you're doing it.
Especially when your hair is tangled. Like you're actually in tears, but you have to hide. When someone comes to your door and they knock, are you there? I'm here. That's okay, go away. I'm busy.
Ladies, finally for you. I know we've touched on different things, and for me, I realized that some of the things that we have to do to be in the best position as women, owning our financial health. Let me call it that way, because once you have money, Charlie, you're not thinking nothing will happen to you.
Hallelujah.
You're fine.
Amen.
It's important for us to take your final words on this topic as well. in its entirety, for you, what do you think we could do as women? Let's just wrap up this conversation with that, to be able to be financially free, own our spaces, and make the right decisions, knowing that we are not doing it based on our needs at the time.
You want to go first?
Yes, go first, please.
I think practicing sales. I think the confidence that I mean, I'm still like developing my confidence in sales, right? But the confidence that is required to actually be able to sell something, close the sale, provide the service, and then get a happy testimonial after, it takes years to learn. It's not a book. Some people are just born like, evangelical, right? They can just like sell ice to an Eskimo. But most of us aren't. So I think the most important thing that we can do is just learn to sell. And it's like not necessarily for money. Like learn to sell ideas, learn to sell things. Just learn to transfer something from yourself into someone else that leaves them feeling good and then makes them say something good after. That is the one thing I think as women we can do, because if there becomes a moment, like let's say you're happily married, your husband does everything, you don't need to worry about your own money per se, If something does happen to him, in any way, shape, form, and you need to look after him, and it's the kind of healthcare that empties his bank, for example, you need to know that you can step in. And if you don't have the confidence to speak and, to convince people to trust you, to provide a service, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle.
Yeah, for me, I would say know your purpose. The reason I would say know your purpose is that knowing your purpose kind of helps you not cast your pearls to swines. So you're not out there applying effort everywhere. There are some people, they've mastered everything. They can wash car, they can wash plate, they can do everything and anything, you understand? And they're going nowhere. So you see them, they have like 15 different Instagram business pages. On one, they're selling rubber dishes. The other one, they are selling plates. The other one, they are selling shoes. And nothing is moving.
They're marketing. They're not selling. That's the difference. They're just marketing.
Yeah, and all the pages have like 5 followers. It's going nowhere.
Because they can't sell.
Yeah, and it's also because they don't know their purpose. Yeah. I really believe that if you know your purpose, there is no way you'd ever go broke. Because your purpose is something that has been put inside you as, like, how do I put it? It's like an inanimate, non-existent, but it kind of exists ATM machine that's been deposited inside of you. So the more you feed into your purpose, that's like you kind of taking money from the bank and putting it into the ATM. And you get the card and then you withdraw bit by bit. So for example, if you find out that your purpose is to, for example, be an artist, go ahead with your artistry. It will sell. And by doing that, you develop other skills and learn other things about yourself. And you're like, okay, maybe in order for me to really push this art thing, because I have this burning desire to make sure that this purpose comes into fruition, I probably need to do something else. You see those moments you have where you're like, let me divert for a little bit to make some money to come and feed the hustle. Yes. That's you being divinely inspired by your purpose to check out other talents that you have that may not be at 100%, but are 50% that are still useful, that can bring you money. So know yourself, know your purpose, and of course, be disciplined. Discipline is very important. If you don't have discipline, you end up spending your money on things that don't matter. You end up trying to impress people that don't care about you. People that wouldn't even attend your funeral if you drop today. They wouldn't even pull up. They won't look for your family. Your family won't even know that they are your friends.
She has to go deeper.
Yeah, I want people to understand the gravity of it. Yeah, get it. Stop trying to impress people. Yes, they've got their bones straight, we know. Yeah. Focus on your synthetic wig. If that's what you can afford, use that. When you can afford more, you get more, So that's that.
Ladies, thank you so much. One focus on the very hard skills. The other, which is my own personal superstar on social media, focus on the very soft skills that can help you grow and be a better person, especially in your financial space. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope you picked your pen and paper and wrote those things down, because it will help you. A big thank you to DecoZone. And of course, Betway Cowboy Coffee, Flora Tissue, Tango Washing Powder, Telecel, Club Shandy, and of course, LPG Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here again next Monday for a bigger conversation. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. Ladies, thank you. Thank you. No, you were good. Because it was like you guys prepped for this one.